2025 GCSEs are here. Tomorrow morning, we're all going to wake up and we're all going to be in that exam hall, sitting in English Literature Paper 1. And not one of us can afford to have our minds at any less than its peak. So believe me when I say to you, the advice I'm going to be giving in this video needs to be listened to carefully. If you want to get the best grades that you can, if you want to keep your mind as sharp as it can be, watch till the end, listen very carefully, and take all the advice that I give. Just as a brief little intro to the video, this is a remake. If you're on my channel, you'll be able to see that I've already made a video on focus, but I felt that video was inadequate. I only made it because I was desperate to get a video out. It was 2 AM on a school night and I needed to make something just to make sure I had a video out that week. It was unedited, it was raw, and it was a rant. It was yap. It wasn't good enough. But this topic is far too important for me to let that video be there. And with the time of GCSEs being here, it needed to be made now. And I know I started off the video talking about GCSEs, but this video isn't just for those of you who are sitting them. This topic that I'm talking about today, focus and meditation, which we'll get onto more as we get further into the video, is in my opinion one of the cornerstones for self-improvement as a whole. So don't think that just because you're not sitting your GCSEs that you should click off this video. I've only specified GCSEs because the 2025 GCSEs start this week, and this is something that will make a huge difference to your grades. Before I get into anything, any of the advice, any of the explanations or anything like that, you could probably do with knowing if your attention span's actually bad, because you don't want to be spending 15-20 minutes listening to me yapping about it if yours isn't even bad. So I've got a list of things here that you can sort of relate to, and if you do, your attention span is bad and you do need this video. First thing on this list is when you read, you have to go back and reread the same line multiple times. I always found this to be a big struggle of mine. Whenever you're reading any kind of text, you're reading something at school, you're reading the essay in your mock papers or in your GCSEs, you're reading the text that's been given to you at school, you're reading from the Bible, you're reading a big long text message, and you just have to keep rereading the same line because it's just not sinking in. That's a very clear sign that you have a poor attention span. Second thing on the list is zoning out a lot. I'm not just talking about you sitting there in class and you're daydreaming because you're bored, thinking about your crush or what's for tea tonight or something nice that someone said to you. No, I'm talking when someone's looking you dead in the eyes and you can't focus on what they're saying. After a couple of words, you're off in fairyland with cotton candy clouds and candy cane trees. Very clear sign that your attention span's bad because you can't even focus on the conversation that's happening in the moment. Third thing is a lot like the second. You feel a sense of derealization. A lot. This is when you feel like you're living behind your eyes, like you're living in a dream, that the things around you aren't even real. This can just be because you're tired, you haven't had much sleep, but if this is an everyday reoccurring thing, it's probably because you have a poor attention span. You struggle to retain information that was just put in front of you. This could be things like when you're getting taught things, you forget what was just said to you. When your mum's asked you to go and do something, you forget what she just asked you to do. Anything like that, you're forgetting the little details, you have a poor attention span. Fifth sign that you probably have a poor attention span is asking people to repeat themselves a lot. If someone's telling you a story, if someone's telling you about the day, and you are trying to pay attention to them, you're not ignoring them, you're not being rude, but you're asking them to repeat themselves a lot because you're off in Candyland again, that's a pretty clear sign you've got a poor attention span. Sixth thing is going off track when you're telling someone something. So you're telling them about your day, you're telling them this big long story about this stressful thing that happened, and you keep branching off. You keep talking about this specific person, this specific part of the event, how it made you feel, and then when it's time to come back to the main story, you don't even remember what you were talking about. You have moments of realization that you are actually real and this isn't a dream. This one's a little bit less common, but it's happened to me a lot. It's almost like you look at your hands and realize, damn, I'm actually real. This is a real place where I'm not in a dream. That links in with the derealization, but it's a very dangerous thing, and it's a very clear sign that you have a poor attention span because you're not even alive in the moment. The last thing on this list is you lose focus on what someone's saying when they go on for too long. Now, an example of this would be when your teacher's going on for too long, when your mate's telling your story, they're taking ages, and what I've just done then. Talking slow, taking your time with your words. If you're losing focus on what they're saying, that's not because they speak too slow, because they take the time with their words. No, that's because your attention span is shocking. So if more than 2 of these things that I've read out on this list apply to you, then you need my video. So stay tuned, listen into what I have to say. And don't just listen, but implement. If you hear what I'm talking about and don't do anything about it, yeah, you've learnt a lesson, but you've not done anything. You've not made any changes. So the stuff I'm about to talk about, actually implement into your daily routine, to your morning routine, to your revision routine. So we know now that you have a poor attention span. Whoop-de-doo. Most people on earth these days have a poor attention span. But look at, if most people have a poor attention span, then what's the issue with it? Well, we've got another list here, 5 things that are all GCSE related as to why having a poor attention span is actually bad. So the first thing on the list is, you may feel like you're living fine, but it's the biggest reason why you find learning so difficult. So you're walking around day to day, you don't feel like, oh, I've got a poor attention span. But believe me when I say you do. This idea that, oh, she can't really do maths, the numbers just don't go in her head, or he's not very good at English, she's got more of a mathematic brain, is a load of BS. That isn't how this world works, that isn't how our minds work. The reason why these things happen is because you don't like maths, that's why you don't have a math brain. That you don't like English, that's why you have more of a numeric brain. That isn't a thing, you just don't like the lesson. And because you don't like it, you pay less attention to it. And already, with a poor attention span, paying even less attention is the reason why you don't do well in that lesson. So it's making the things you already don't focus on even harder to focus on. The second thing on the list is that revision becomes useless when you're unable to focus on it. You can sit there revising for half an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, but if you can only focus on 5 minutes of that revision, you're wasting your time and you're not gaining from it. Third thing is, you're not going to remember little details. This could be like quotes in English, it could be components of a reaction in chemistry. Things that are going to get you more marks. They're going to bump up your marks in an essay. They're going to help you with your 2 markers, your 3 markers, your 6 markers, required practicals. If you don't know these little details, you are going to miss marks and you might even drop a grade. That's a problem. You're going to misread questions and you're going to give the wrong answer even though you knew the right one. If you'd have read the question and understood what it was asking you, you could have got it right. You could have got the marks, but you didn't because you misread it, because you can't focus on the words that are in front of you. Sort of linking to this, you're not going to be able to tap into your deep memories because you're too busy trying to focus on the question that's sat right in front of you. Because you're struggling to read what you're actually being asked to do, you can't spend time focusing on what's deep inside of there. Because the thing you learnt in history 2 years ago, the thing you learnt in maths a year and a half ago, it's in there. You just can't grab it because you're too busy trying to focus on what you're actually being asked. So we know now that you do have a bad attention span. We know what the issues with it are, but you don't know what's causing it. What am I doing? What are you doing to actually ruin your attention span? To put it simply, the content you consume is the cause of your bad attention span. Okay, look at what content am I consuming? Well, short form content like TikTok, Instagram Reels, Snapchat Spotlight and YouTube Shorts and so on, whatever else, Facebook or whatever. These things train your focus. Because of the fact that these videos, short form content, average in a duration of less than 20 seconds and you're watching them in the way that you do, we all know you sit there watching them for 10 seconds, 5 seconds, half a second. Doing this trains your brain to be able to focus for less than 10 seconds at a time. On top of this, making it even worse, every single time you scroll, your mind has to shift its focus to the new video and the new information that comes with it. Now, because that doesn't really seem important, it might not make sense, let's just slow down a minute and put this into a realistic situation. Let's say me and you are having a conversation, right? Yeah, for my birthday, my mum got me these new trainers. They weren't on my list or anything. She just got, oh my days, my dog. She was up and down last night. I couldn't get it. Here's what she's been saying about you. Oh my gosh, man. I'm so cooked from it, Beth. I was revising quotes all weekend. Yeah, we went out for tea on Friday. I had this burger. Wow. One of the best burgers. Not really a conversation, is it? What we're doing now, paying attention to long durations of speech. That's what a conversation's like. But the reason why you find that so difficult is because what I was demonstrating then is what your brain is used to from all the scrolling. The shifting, that's what your brain's used to. It's what your brain wants to do because it's the only thing it knows. It's what it's been trained to do for the years, the countless hours every day scrolling. But you can't have a real conversation like that. You can't be taught anything like that. You can't watch any YouTube videos for revising like that. You can't listen to your teacher for last minute revisions like that. You can't listen to your mates having conversations with you. You can't listen to my videos giving you self-improvement advice. You can't function like that. And for those of you that don't think that way, I've got another analogy for you. For those of you who go to the gym, you're going to understand this one a lot better. If you're going to imagine TikTok being one rep of an exercise, every single time you scroll is another rep. So imagine you're doing bicep curls, yeah? Every single rep you do, the bicep gets stronger and bigger and better overall. Now obviously, yeah, you get fatigue and whatever, we're not thinking about that. Whenever you scroll, that's like doing another bicep curl. Every bicep curl you do, you get a little bit stronger. Every rep you do, your focus does the opposite and gets a little bit weaker because you're training it to get better at scrolling. That isn't what we want. We don't want to be good at scrolling. We want to be good at focusing. The same way that in the gym, the more reps you do, over time, the more days you train, you're going to get more progress. Over time, the more reps of the scrolling that you do are going to train your brain to become more and more used to focusing for 10 seconds and shifting. For 10 seconds and shifting. And that's 10 seconds max, because it's on the odd occasion that you're actually even going to watch a video for that long. Same way that over time, the more training you do, the more reps you do, the stronger you're going to get. Over time, the reps of TikToks you're doing are going to make your brain stronger at TikTok. You're going to become used to focusing for 10 seconds max and then scrolling. That's basically how it works. That's why I've compared it to the gym, because it is literally training your brain to get better at TikTok, which means get worse at life, get worse at focusing, because you're just getting used to 10 seconds, switch, 10 seconds, switch, 10 seconds, switch. So it's like that. I've just done a 10-second little segment there. You're switching now to something else, but I'm not. I'm carrying on what I'm saying, but in your mind, I'm dragging it now. I'm taking too long, but I'm not. This is a completely normal amount of time for someone to speak. You're just too used to that 10 seconds and scroll. 10 seconds and scroll. We're not doing that anymore. We're reversing that. But how are you going to do that? How are you going to reverse it? How are you going to fix your attention span? Well, the solution is pretty simple. To fix your focus, you need to counteract the focus training you've received from short form content, which basically just means do the exact opposite. Instead of training your brain to focus for a few seconds and then shift to something else, the way that you do with the TikToks, the Instagram Reels and whatever else, we're training your brain to focus for a few seconds and then shift back. This can be done through meditation. Now, when I say meditation, I don't just mean like how the monks do it and how the people at yoga do it when you sit with crossed legs and I'm talking about the meditation where you get in a comfy position, closing your eyes and focusing on something of your choice. If you choose to hum, like the monks and the people in yoga do, go ahead and do that. I'm not condemning it, but that's just a stereotype of what people think meditation is, when it's actually more like this. I'm just sitting with my eyes closed, really, aren't I? Personally, I choose to focus on my breath. In my head, I'm thinking breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. You can choose anything else though. You know, I've heard people that focus on the fingertips. You know, they focus on this feeling of the rubbing the fingertips together, focus on the smells that surround them, something they can hear, or maybe an image in their mind. Like I used to focus on a red dot. I'd create a red dot image in my mind and I'd just try and focus on that. But I've just decided that breathing in, breathing out is pretty easy, because you also get some like breathing benefits and whatever else. While you're meditating, you are going to lose focus. Don't get upset about it though. That is a good thing. There was once a point in time in my life where I got so cooked with my focus that I couldn't focus for longer than a second. While I'm meditating now, I can go breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then I lose focus, which isn't great, I'll admit that. But there was once a point, a few months back, where it was breathe in and I'd lost focus. I didn't even get to the N. Didn't finish the second word and already lost focus. Most of you watching this are going to be at that stage. Don't be upset about it. Don't get yourself worked up about it. Don't get mad at yourself, because you've taken the step forward and started meditating. You're starting to progress your focus, so you should be proud of yourself. You should be happy about the fact that you're doing it. But not only that, when you lose focus, it's a good thing, because it opens up the opportunity to progress. What I mean by that is, every time you lose focus, you are able to go back. You're able to go back to what you were originally focusing on. And that's like a rep. Remember before, I was talking about how each time you scroll is like a rep. Instead, each time you lose focus and bring your focus back, that's like a rep. This is a good rep. If we're imagining it back in the bicep curl analogy, if I just keep it here, if I keep the dumbbell here, I never relax my bicep, I can't do another rep. But when I put my arm down and let the weight go down, I can do another rep. This is the same thing. When you lose focus, your arm goes down, and then you have to bring it back up. The quicker you can bring it back up, the more reps you can do in a set amount of time. You know, if I just left my arm there for ages, oh crap, yeah, I need to do the rep. So the quicker you can notice that you've lost your focus, the better. But again, don't get worked up about it. The fact you're even doing this is amazing. Like I said before, with the TikTok, over time, these reps are going to add up. Instead, these are good reps. These are going to train your brain to be able to focus for longer and longer periods of time. Now, obviously, this number's not going to be bang on, but I'm just going to guess. You can go from, on day 1 second of focus. By day 7, after a week, 2 seconds of focus. After a month, 5 to 10 seconds. After a year, a whole minute. Pure, straight, unbroken focus. That's going to make a huge difference to your life. Absolutely huge. And all it takes is 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes out of your day to be able to make that kind of progress. But what's amazing about meditation is there's no limit to it. If you want to sit there and meditate for an hour, go ahead. You know, you can't sit and do bicep curls for an hour. We know that. You're just going to get tired. But your brain doesn't. It's not actually a physical muscle that experiences physical fatigue. You can just keep going and going and going. So if you're comfortable sitting there, revising for half an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a night, slot in 10 minutes of meditation, 20 minutes if you want to, an hour if you want to. If you want to put that much time into meditation, go ahead. It's going to work wonders. 1 hour of meditation will do more than an hour of revision will. I've been focusing a lot on GCSEs throughout the entirety of this video, but as I said in the intro, this isn't just for people sitting the GCSEs. Meditation has a lot of other benefits in day-to-day life and including focus. So I've got another list here of things that are affected by having a better focus and are improved by meditating. The first thing on the list of benefits is an improved ability to focus means an improved ability to learn. As humans, we do stop growing when our bodies do, but our minds never stop. We continue growing in our heads until the day we die, constantly learning new things every single day. You don't want to limit your ability to do this because indirectly you are limiting your ability to live because we as humans are living by growing more day by day. Second thing on this list is being able to retain information with ease, even the little details. This is the flip side to one of the things that I said was bad about having a poor attention span earlier on in the video. This basically just means the opposite of that. You are now able to remember the quotes in English. You are now able to remember the components of a reaction in chemistry. You are now able to remember people's birthdays, someone's favourite colour, someone's favourite food, someone's favourite place. This is going to make you a bit more of a likeable person because you remember things about people. You know, you start to have a bit more of a reputation that you do listen and you do care about what people are saying to you, and you might even be able to make someone's day. You know, this is going into the tiniest little things. But if you can remember someone's favourite food, someone's favourite kind of cake, someone's favourite place to go, when they're having a bad day, or if it's their birthday or something, and you can surprise them and take them to this place, well, they're going to like that, aren't they? So it's just even little stuff like that. The third benefit is reading's going to become a lot easier, clearer, and maybe even more enjoyable. If you're watching this video, I should hope you're old enough to understand the benefits of reading. Being able to enjoy it and read clearly is going to benefit you and your mind a lot. And this is a benefit that's going to last till the day you die. So being able to read and enjoying reading is a very good thing. Means more knowledge for you. You know, you can dive deeper into non-fiction books and gain a more philosophical or deeper understanding of whatever you're studying or getting into. Not only that, but you're not going to miss out things on questions. You know, you're reading properly in an exam. You're reading effectively. You're not missing things out. You're not misreading things. You're not misreading the things that you're revising. You're not misreading the lesson you're being taught. You're not misreading the text message. All around, a very big difference this will make. I did briefly just touch on this, but the fourth benefit, you're not going to miss out the key details. And this is another flip side to one of the bad things I said about having a poor attention span. In an exam, you're not going to miss out things in the question. You're not going to misread it. You're not going to misunderstand it. So you're going to get all the marks that you want and need to get the grades that you want. Or something you're being taught, you're not going to miss out on the key bits of information of what the teacher's teaching you. You know, we've all experienced it before when you're in a lesson and the teacher says something and you didn't hear it. you weren't paying attention, so you missed it. But they're still going on and on and on, and now you're getting stressed out because you missed the most important part, and they're still going on the way ahead. That's something that won't happen anymore. After meditating, you can have a better focus. It's not going to happen. You're able to pay attention, full attention, for the whole hour lesson. And that's a nice thing to have. Your imagination is going to become a lot clearer, which is going to help your ability to picture the things you're being told to help your understanding of them. So, a basic example, when your friend's telling you a story about something that's happened, if you're able to picture the story and imagine that you are there clearly, you're going to understand it a whole lot more than you would if you were sat there thinking about Candyland with cotton candy clouds and candy cane trees. Sixth thing on this list, you're going to become more present in the moment, which is going to make life more enjoyable, and it's going to make you a better person to be around. It's going to make life more enjoyable because let's say you're on a walk. If you're not present in the moment, you're just going to be looking at the concrete. You're just going to be going from point A to point B. But if you're present in the moment, you can look up, see the beautiful sky, the beautiful trees that surround you, all the nice things in nature. You can be able to enjoy the small details in life more when you're present in the moment. And it's going to make you a better person to be around because let's think of it this way. Every friend group has that one friend who just isn't there. You know, they're sat there, they're with you physically, but they're not present in the moment. Nowadays, they often get called an NPC, and they're called an NPC because they're not playable. The character isn't playing the game, they just sat idly. But on the flip side to that, someone who is present is the person who's there, speaking, involving, interacting with the conversation, making jokes, having a laugh, being there, involved in the moment. Being present in the moment makes you someone who's nicer to be around. You're not going to be disliked just because you're not present, but you're not really going to be noticed. People aren't going to miss your presence because you were never really there. The seventh thing on this list, your speech is going to become a lot clearer and a lot less cluttered, making you easier to understand and making you seem a lot smarter. Now, another friend that we all have is the one who stutters. They keep speaking too fast for the mouth to even catch up. Their brain is going so fast, they're so unclear in what they actually want to say, that their speech is coming out a million miles an hour. You can't really understand what the point is. Yeah, it's funny when they stutter, blah, 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 but realistically, you don't actually know what they're getting at. You can't understand what they are trying to tell you, and even if you could, you're too focused on the fact that they're stuttering a million miles an hour. It's going to make you seem a lot smarter too. Someone who speaks clearly, more sure, at a nice steady pace, is going to sound a lot smarter than the person who's and for those of you who do have a stutter, and you're thinking, well, that's not very nice, is it? This is going to fix your stutter. This is going to help you think more clearly of what you actually want to say. I used to have a stutter. I used to stutter because I couldn't decide what word to use. And a lot of people do stutter for that reason. There's obviously other reasons, blah, blah, blah. But if that's what it is, that you struggle to pick a word in the moment of saying it, you are unclear in your speech. Meditating, having a better focus, better attention span on what you want to say is going to help you say it. You're going to be able to have a lot deeper conversations, helping you to form deeper relationships. If you can only focus on surface level stuff like brain rot, you can't really form a deep relationship doing that. Yeah, it's funny to be around a person who does that, but you're not going to have a deep sentimental relationship with that person if they can't have a deep conversation with you. Let's say you're with your girlfriend. She's got a big issue with what you have in the relationship, but you can't focus on what she's saying. You're getting deep and deep and deep into this conversation, and all of a sudden she's pouring her heart out to you, and all you're thinking about is skibbity toilet and tung sahur. It's not really going to benefit you in that relationship, is it? No. The ninth benefit, and I've only just realised that this is the ninth. I think I might have called the last one ninth or something, but you can cut the bullet points yourself. You're alright. Your stress levels are going to decrease. This is a little bit less related to focus, but it isn't at the same time. I said previously that I like to think about breathing in and breathing out because there's a lot more breathing benefits. Like if you're sat focusing on your breathing, you're going to improve your breathing. You're helping your body breathe. In the middle of a panic attack, when your anxiety levels are high, breathing and focusing on your breathing is one of the best things you can do. It's what people tell you to do. Take deep breaths. If you sit and force yourself to close your eyes and just focus on your breathing, you're going to help your body calm down. But then obviously the thoughts are still there. The big storm in your mind is still there. So focusing on anything, sitting and closing your eyes and focusing on one thought is going to help your mind to calm down. If you can imagine it like you're in the ocean, the anxiety is a big storm all around you. But if you're able to just focus on the one man in a boat, the small little sailor man in a sailor boat, you're going to pay less attention to the storm, to the point where the storm just goes away, just leaves you alone. And that's what you need when you're having a panic attack. So your stress levels are going to decrease. The 10th thing on this list links a little bit more into dropping TikTok and Instagram Reels, all the short form content, than it does meditation. But meditation will still have an impact on this. The output of work is going to become a lot easier and more enjoyable. With you watching all these TikToks and all these Instagram Reels, you've gotten your mind used to consuming a lot, just constant consumption of content. When you stop doing that so much and you give yourself time to actually start putting out work, producing content rather than consuming, it's going to become easier to do. You're getting used to doing it, and you might even enjoy it. At school, that's what you've got to do. You've got to put content out. You've got to produce work. That's the whole point of school. That's what you do in an essay. That's what you do in a maths exam. That's what you're doing. You're putting out work. You're producing content. And if all you do is sit and watch TikTok all the time, you're so used to just being force-fed content day by day, outputting content is going to be the most horrible thing possible. I was so bad in around year 8, year 9, so 3 years ago now, that I'd feel sick when I was doing work. When I was doing anything right for too long, I'd start feeling sick because I was so used to consuming content. The output of work made me sick. You don't want that. That's the worst thing you can have in the middle of an exam, feeling sick because you're working. So putting out work is going to become a lot more enjoyable, which means you might even enjoy homework. You might enjoy the little English yap you can do in your literature paper, which overall is going to improve your grade and improve your life, because you can start working on the things you like doing, like my videos. If I didn't like putting out work, I wouldn't be making these videos, you know? And that does bring me to the end of the benefits, bringing us close now to the end of the video. In conclusion to everything I've been talking about for the last 20 minutes, you're going to benefit a lot more from meditation than you will countless hours of revision. If you're going to spend over an hour of revision a day, incorporate 3 to 10 minutes of meditation into your revision sessions. So if you are fine with revising for so many hours a day, what's wrong with 3 to 10 minutes of meditation? Nothing. That's time you can spare, and that's time you can use more productively. Adding meditation to your morning routine is going to help a lot too, because it's going to clear your mind and get your focus ready for the day, even if it's just 3 minutes every morning. So if you've got an exam, it's going to be tomorrow morning now when this video comes out. Meditating that morning is going to help clear your mind. It's going to get you ready for the exam that you've got. It's going to help you focus for that day especially, because if you do the exam and then meditate after, it's not going to do as much as if you meditated before the exam. And the last thing is stop scrolling. You can meditate all you want, but if you're still scrolling, it's still just going to get worse. So stop. Reduce your screen time. Bring your TikTok, your Instagram Reels, your Snapchat Spotlight, whatever. Bring it all down to below half an hour a day, because you don't need more than that. Why would I want to do that though? It's just boring. Then I won't have anything to do. That's when you can start picking up hobbies, picking up revision, picking up meditation, get friends. Sitting there for longer than half an hour a day scrolling. Why? What is the point? Today's verse of the video is Psalms chapter 119 verse 15. I will meditate on your precepts and fix my eyes on your ways. I thought this verse was quite fitting to what we've been talking about today, obviously with meditation and whatnot. Meditation is actually a very good Christian practice. It's a great way for us to develop our focus on God and our relationship with Him. We're making our flesh sit dormant, sit idly and do nothing, while our spirit is nourished, and we are enhancing our focus on the Lord our God. I like to do this in my videos to incorporate Jesus into my videos and to help you all a little bit more aware of what is actually in the scriptures. Just wanted to say a big thank you to all of you who've made it this far into the video. I'm really grateful for just watching the video to the end. And if you want to support me anymore, please do subscribe, like and comment. It helps me with the algorithm and it helps me grow my channel so that these videos can reach more people and hopefully help more people like this. Hopefully has helped you. And I hope you all do amazingly in your exams. I send my prayers and my blessings out to you all. So again, thank you for watching. God bless you all. Amen.